anyway, I'm digressing. What I was talking about before I made my pit stop over there, talking about Nene, was Kenya Moore being evicted. And how Bravo is using Kenya Moore for press. Now, I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, they use everybody else, okay? But it's just interesting how all of a sudden they want to report on the eviction when we've been reporting on the eviction for months now. Kenya actually even went public to tell the world that I was lying on her. Let's not forget, I'm about to pull it up. Hold on. Let's not forget this particular response that Kenya made right here. Let me send it to my MacBook. Okay. A blog was reporting on the eviction just about a couple of weeks ago, 4 weeks ago to be exact, somewhere around there. And Kenya decided that she would clap back. Okay, and I guess because they credited me, but I haven't seen her argue with the Caucasians. Okay. So Kenya said this story is inaccurate. The case has not been heard. Plaintiff owes $80,000 and hasn't paid to build out an entire space, so the rent was withheld. The hearing was what most landlords do: is ask the rent to be paid into the court before trial. Depending on the ruling, the rent could be returned or paid to the landlord. Child, Kenya is such a liar. Okay. It said the trial court hasn't been set. We are going to discuss tax benefits, loss and profit statements. What's that? And benefits of write offs. But let the broke people carry on per usual. Haters always be the loudest. Don't they, though, Kenya? The haters be the loudest in the room, honey. Let the broke people carry on per usual. Now, since y'all don't believe me when I say it, y'all swear that I be hating when I read the court documents. Apparently, when TMZ read the court documents, it's true and it goes viral on all the blogs. So TMZ is reporting, since y'all don't believe me when I say it, that Kenya Moore hair spa owes the landlord $87,000. Okay, we done been to court. Okay, we've been to Zoom court. We done read the court documents. We done heard the landlord's audio that I had. We heard all of that. That the landlords, I mean that Kenya's attorneys actually said that the space was intended for filming. Y'all remember all that? So we got all of that. And why they use that picture of Kenya? I don't understand. But anyway, with that bad wig on. Anyway, it said the Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kenya Moore's hair salon was ordered to pay more than $80,000. We know. According to court docs, blah blah blah, ordered to pay $43,000 by late February and another $43,000 by late March. It was February 19th to be exact. It is today, February 25th. Kenya missed the February 19th payment. Okay, according to the court order that we read the other day, the judge said that if Kenya failed to make her payment by February 19th, the landlord could proceed with eviction with no further court intervention. Okay, y'all got that? Kenya failed to make the payment. The next day, the landlord filed a writ of possession. Okay, and in filing the writ for possession, child, this has been a mess. Just one mess after the next. Hold on, pull it up. Hold on, I gotta pull it up, child. They have signed all the documents, child. The writ of possession has been signed. When I reported on it at first, it wasn't signed yet, but now they got it, which means they gonna put her on the curb. Sorry, but they are. Okay. So the writ of possession was actually signed today. Shout out to the squad. Okay, y'all love sending me the documents as soon as they come up, honey. Hold on, let me pull it up. As soon as they come up, y'all be on it. Doggone it. They signed it today. And here it is. Straight from the A, honey. Hold on. How I get in here? Let me turn off this. Let me remove that. Let me share the screen. Let me put my A's up. There they go. Let me share it. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, y'all see that? Writ of Possession. Okay. This was written, they ordered it on the 25th day of 2026 today. Defendant More Vision Media Inc. has failed to make rent payment into the court registry as required by this court's February 3rd, 2026 order compelling payment of rent into the registry of the court. TMZ ain't even got this. Now, therefore, you are hereby commanded to place plaintiff Landlord Northland Chamblee LLC doing business as the Deco at 5211 in full and quiet possession of the premises located at 5211 Peachtree Boulevard, Suite 600, Chamblee, Georgia 30341. And to remove defendant tenant More Vision Media Inc. and all other occupants and their personal property and any and all persons claiming through or under them from said premises. You are further commanded to execute this writ of possession instanter, immediately, and to file with this court a return of your actions hereunder. It is so ordered this 25th day of February 2026. This is to the marshals or his lawful deputies. Y'all, I don't know if they did it today or if they're going to do it tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to do it next week. All I know is the judge signed it today. It's a wrap. The judge ain't going to unsign it. So all the Kenya Moore hair spa people, all the people in my DMs, all the people who be dragging me, calling me all kind of names and stuff, the Kenya lied to y'all. Kenya looked you in your face and said that it was not true that she was a squatter. Kenya sat in them people place for 12 months from December of 2024 to February of 2026 and did not pay any rent. None. Zero. Zip. Nada. Then Kenya refused to pay the rent into the court registry while she claimed that they owed her money that she was not entitled to. Okay. There was a tenant improvement allowance of $80,000 that Kenya claims that the landlord did not pay her. However, the landlord has proved in court through documents written to Kenya that Kenya did not submit the required documents to obtain the tenant improvement allowance. Now, I'm not going to go back through history because we've been through this already. Okay, we've been through all the court documents for months. I've been telling y'all the exact same thing. It's a whole Kenya Moore playlist on my channel. You can go watch every single video we read, every single court document. The landlord filed for eviction in April of 2025. Then in October, Kenya had filed a countersuit for the $80,000. It was moved to Superior Court in October of 2025. Since then, it's been motion after motion after motion, 30 days. Let me answer. Let me respond. Let me answer. Let me respond. And at the end of the day, it was all a squatting procedure. That's all she was doing, was squatting. Because if you know that you owe the money, like you ain't paying no rent, you in them people place, you know they paying the utilities, they doing all that, and you claim that they owe you the money, why you didn't just pay it into the court registry if you thought you was gonna get it back? Like, y'all let me know. Right, the people don't want the truth. You embarrassed. Then again, no, I'm not. She's Miss America, Miss USA, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. You said her lawyer should have done that. She did have lawyers. Then she had lawyers. She had lawyers, but she didn't have no money. Okay. Maybe she didn't even pay the lawyers. We don't know. Look, he ain't filed his lawsuit yet. We don't know what's going on over there. He said, I can't believe she had the nerve to say this was a legacy for her daughter. Had the girl up in the salon selling old rags. Yes. And Kenya turned her salon that wasn't even a salon into a thrift store. She starts selling her used clothes, used bags, used shoes, used wigs. And still, y'all said that I was lying on her, that she got all the money. I don't understand. Kenya, the salon has never been open. Even after she pulled that revenge porn stunt at her grand reopening, everything was a stunt. Everything was a show. People were coming to get their hair done. She was hiring people to come in there to do one head just to put it on social media. And then the doors was locked and closed for weeks. So, I mean, it is what it is. Y'all talking about, yeah, I know a bunch of people like, well, why are you so happy? This is a mother. She has a child to take care of. Kenya knew that when she pulled them damn naked pictures of Brit Eady out of the lady she said was Brit Eady. She knew she had a child to feed. She knew she had to keep her job when she did all of that and lost it. So I like, whose fault is it? Is it my fault? Is it my fault? Is it my fault that Team Twirl didn't show up to buy her used clothes and dresses? Is it my fault that Kenya is now pitching payday loans? Okay. Is it my fault? Y'all say I went to the damn salon and tried to open the door and it was locked. And it was my fault that people didn't come and make appointments. It was my fault. It was trying to blame. They said it's ATLien fault. Ain't nobody calling. Ain't nobody making appointments. That's my fault. Where is Team Twirl? I'm still looking for him. Ah. You said, I really hate this for Kenya. She has that beautiful little girl, and she was good on RHOA. She was crazy to spend all that money. Oh, okay. Fatty Back Suit said, what happened to the housewives' money? I don't know. Listen, if you don't listen, I don't know what happened to Kenya's money. I don't count people's pockets, but what I do know, and I said the same thing about Candy, y'all said out line. I do know that once you lose your biggest income stream, it is very, very hard to maintain your lifestyle. You have to downsize, you have to regroup, you have to figure out some things to eliminate. I said that about Candy. I'm saying it about Kenya. And the spa must have been the one thing she had to eliminate. Can you imagine not getting a check for over 12, 14, 15 months? How long it's been since Kenya got fired? Over a year? Over 2 years? Because after she pulled that revenge PORN stunt, she wasn't back on that season. So whatever money she thought she was gonna make during season 16, she didn't make because she wasn't on the show no more after that. So you said Kenya was making over $1 million per season, but here's the thing: she didn't make $1 million last year, and she didn't make $1 million the year before. So if you can you imagine losing $1 million after making $1 million every year for the past 5 years, and then you lose it? Like most people, despite it being a lot of money to most people, even the people who make $1 million be living check to check. Okay, most people, the smart people don't, but a lot of people who get a check 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 a month, their mortgage is 35,000. Their mortgage is 50,000. Like a lot of people do that, and I don't know why. But it's important to have financial literacy and to live below your means. That's what people always tell everybody. Live below your means. Just because you can afford it don't mean you have to have it. I understand treating yourself every now and then, buy your little Louis Vuitton scarf every now and then. But if you listen, your housing is your biggest expense, your car is your biggest expense, and then everything else around there. You do not need to be living nowhere where the bulk of your check, okay, over 30%. Yeah, over 30% of your check does not need to go to your rent or to your mortgage. Okay. It should be a lot less than that. Now, if you are scrimping and scraping and struggling to survive, then live what you can. Live with, but if you making money, you do not have to upgrade just because you feel like you can. And I say that to a lot of social media people too, because this money be funny sometimes. We get a whole bunch of money, then we don't get as much. Okay. And it's like, why you getting a whole bunch of money? You might be getting 50, 60, 70, 80,000, maybe 100,000. Then you go online, talk about you rich bitch and all that. Then you like, I'm going to upgrade. I'm going to get me a Bentley and I'm going to move in a high rise and I'm paying $10,000 a month over here and I'm paying this and I'm paying that. And then the 1 month that you don't get no check, you looking stupid as hell because you ain't saved no money. You don't have nothing to fall back on. So, I see Kenya like that. Who's to say that, she got a daughter, she travels a lot. She goes to Dubai. She does this. She that. All of that costs money. Maintaining a lifestyle costs money. The insurance on a Bentley and a Rolls Royce costs money. Okay, let's not even talk about the note on the Bentley and a Rolls Royce. All of that costs money. And when you lose your regular stream of income, you got to figure out how you gonna maintain that. She tried to come to YouTube. Okay, that didn't work. She tried to rent out the damn spot. That didn't work. The Kenya Moore hair care products been eliminated from Sally's and CVS. I don't. Where's the money coming from with that? Mark then sold his business. I went bankrupt or something and moved to Atlanta. And they say he was living in her basement. How is he helping? Like at the end of the day, like no one's surprised. I'm only surprised that she was squatting and calling everybody a liar. I would have respected Kenya more if she would have just shut them doors and went home. Okay, shut them doors, took out her expensive faucets, whatever it is that she say she spent her money on, took them. Go ahead and sell them on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, because everybody be looking for fixtures and light fixtures and all kind of stuff, child. And just went home. You didn't even have the damn salon open. Anyway, moving on. I didn't want to be right though. I didn't. I really wanted Kenya to pay. I kind of low key be rooting for the underdog. So when we were going to court and we were seeing all this stuff, and Kenya had till February 19th to pay it in the court registry, I was really thinking she gonna pay it in the court registry. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, she ain't, because if she could pay that into the court registry, she would have been paying her mortgage on time. I mean, the rent on time. Think about it. If she knew they owe her this money, she got a 10-year lease, she would have continued to pay her $4,500 a month and then just, argue over her tenant improvement allowance. Her suing them should have been, she should have been the plaintiff. Okay. She was playing opposition. They sued her, they evicted her. And then she came back with a countersuit. Well, you know what? You owe me some money. That ain't how it worked. And, she failed at it. Don't they have accounting to keep up with that stuff? I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. I'm just, talking about, and maybe I might be talking personal experience, honey. I done made a lot of money, went broke, made it back. But one thing I learned about making a lot of money and then losing a lot of money is that the next time, you be a little bit more careful in how you spend your money. Okay. That's all. It is what it is. And you said you sold your car, and why have a 10-year lease? I don't know. A lot of commercial properties have long-term leases because of that, especially if you're gonna do a build out, you're gonna put money into the property. The common sense thing is in that 10-year lease, you will be making that money back. Within those 10 years, you're gonna make all the money back that you put into the space. But how you gonna make the money back if you're not even a legit running business? How you gonna make that money back if on your website you telling people that you don't do 4C hair, which is black people hair? How you gonna make that money back when you up here charging people tickets to come in to buy your old clothes? It was just weird. Like everything she did to me was counterintuitive to making money. So I don't know who was consulting her. I don't know who her friends was. I don't know where her family members are. Somebody should have been there. Uncle, a daddy, a brother, a cousin. Somebody should have been there to tell Kenya, you have this space here, and this is what you should be doing to generate some revenue. And she didn't generate it. I don't know. I wish someone would tell us what. I wanted her to keep it too. I've been there, but not with her money. Oh, okay. And why wasn't her friends and family supporting her business? Right. Why we didn't see Candy up there getting her hair washed or getting her scalp massage? Is it because Candy got 4C hair and they said don't do Candy hair? Why we didn't see Cynthia up there getting her scalp massage? Oh, they fell out. I forgot. Why we didn't see anybody up at Kenya Moore Hair Spa. Especially, I mean, I know they say Candy, why would Candy save her? Nobody's saying that Candy had to give her money, but we saw her, hanging out with Candy at the Beyonce concert. Why can't Candy go up there and get her daughter's hair wash or something? I don't know. You said now I have an alleged lawyer on YouTube stated that since the property was under her LLC, then Kenya can't be sued for the money. Well, it just depends. If it's a sole member LLC, and I'm not an attorney, but if it's a solo member LLC, it just depends on how her business is structured. If she's the only member of the LLC, they can't come after her because she's the only member of the LLC. Mhm. But it is what it is. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. And maybe that's why she was confident in staying in it so long. Because remember, I told you one of her LLCs had been administratively dissolved. So I mean, if it's administratively dissolved, meaning technically it's not even a legal entity no more, then who do they have to sue? Even with all of that, it's all a flim and a scam, okay? And a lot of people cheer like, "Yes, can you stay? Yes." It's like, girl, as a business owner myself, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off for the landlord. And Kenya, as somebody who owns a business, should be smart enough not to do that because that shit is karma. It will come back on you. It's almost like she's stealing. She stole time from that landlord, time and money that landlord could have been making with another tenant in there, in my opinion. Um, you said it's sort of irrelevant at this point, that 80K money that she spent and won't ever get back. Okay, definitely won't ever get back. But she didn't even make it a working salon, according to her attorney. Like, at this point, she making it seem like she did the landlord a favor by building this salon out. But the next person who comes might be like, this is stupid. This big ass outlet in the middle, and there's no outlets. How anybody gonna like booth rent? There's no separate booth. There's no outlets in the middle to plug up no blow dryers. Where they gonna put the hair dryers at? Where's the private suite? What is happening? Everything out in the open, like it might not even suit the next person. So I mean, yeah, it was worth that to her, but it's not worth it to another potential tenant who will have to come in and put their own money up. So mm, you say you have to be likable, in my opinion, to have a sustainable business like that. And if they don't like you, I'm not coming over there to get none of your services. Yeah. Y'all know this topic can relate to the landlord, okay? Why let the salon go? It was worth the $88,000 to save it. Was it worth the $88,000 to save it? Think of it this way. And somebody said she should have got it out of her house and put it in the salon. I don't again, it just depends on who's her financial advisement. It all depends on what her nest egg is. It's a lot of things that's dependent on that. Like if you ain't got $88,000 to give and you know you about to lose $88,000, that's a lot of money, a chunk of change just to give up, even if you know you owe it. She basically just sat there for free for a whole year. Okay, move on. Right, and it wasn't making her no money. Mhm. It was a total waste. Especially again that she didn't market correctly, people wasn't going there. It seemed like to me that she had to pay people to come. She used to pay like independent contractors, independent hairstylists to come from one salon to come there for a day or two to do hair. That makes no sense that you have to pay people to come to your place to do hair. It was a silly business for her to start. Well, there's that. Moving on from Kenya. This next segment is kind of about Kenya. But I'm gonna be kind of following up on the situation when it comes to Kenya Moore and the hair spa. Uh Anybody over there in Chamblee want to go by there and let me know if she's out tomorrow morning? Let me know. I know a lot of people I know go down Peachtree Industrial every day and pass by there every day on their way somewhere, on their way to 285, because 285 is right down the road. Y'all let me know if it is still open. The last time I went by there about 3 days ago, Everything was still there. It didn't look like she was moving at all. I didn't go and peep in the glass and see if anything was boxed up, but everything was still in the front. Them dresses was still over there, and she had like a clothes sign in the window. But the landlord been scraped her name off the window, but the Kenya Moore hair spa sign was still up. So I don't know. Y'all let me know. Yes, please let me know so I don't have to use my EV to go up there and drink up all my electricity. Please let me know. Now, a lot of people feel bad for Kenya because of the situation. A lot of people felt that Kenya, should have been back this season on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but there's a reason why she wasn't, and that is the Brit Eady lawsuit. In Kenya's last live stream, she admitted that it's a lawsuit going on, and she's on ice until the end. But it is what it is. Kenya shouldn't have did what she did. And in the midst of that, this whole stream has been talking about, how Bravo is using uh all of the negative press to basically steer y'all back to watching the Real Housewives.